staying in, if you were to sell that to me today, how much do you roughly get for it?
That,
Six?
Yeah, my conservative was 580 and Zana's.
6 is good.
6.
Yeah.
I've been looking at Labrador for
Yeah, exactly.
3 months
you
now.
have.
210 limit.
Yeah.
So we're going to roughly say about 210. I'll round that up against a property worth about 600. Let's have a look. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 year fixed. I would never advise 4 and 5 at the time, at the moment. And I'll take you through that in a sec as to why. So if we fix for 1 year, you're looking at 2.09.
Lovely.
Now I'll take you through the T's and C's of a fixed loan as well. So you, once you're fixed, you know what you're in for.
Yeah.
because that would be based on, and it's P&I, of course.
Yeah.
Principal and interest, 2 years is 1.99. 3 year fixed is 2.08. And I would be confident to say that the 4 and 5 are going to jump up.
Just for the record, we're discussing a hypothetical amount for the new merged loan, well, not new, the existing merged loan at
And the
210,000 based on a
2.5-ish.
fixed interest rate of P&I over suggested 3 years.
So basically you've got 1 year 2.09, 2 years is your
Optimum.
199, 2.08, then it goes up to 224 and 249.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
these are your fixed ones, right? When are you going to sell that house?
My one?
Yeah.
my home.
You're not planning
I
on selling it?
never. No.
Perfect. So if you've got no intentions of selling that house, you could look at any one of these options. Why I asked that question first is if you tell me in 3 years' time you're going to sell that house or potentially look at selling that house,
Yes.
don't look at it in for 5 years.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Because there's a couple of things happen when it's fixed. If you want to break out of your fixed term before it matures,
Before 5 years.
there is, well, before whichever term you select, so even if you select 3 but you want to break out of it after 12 months, there is a very good chance that you will pay a fee for that.
Yeah.
Now, what that fee constructs of, it's not just a standard X amount, I can tell you today. 3 different things factor into that fee. 1, how long into this term you are.
It happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you fix for 5 years, but you want to break after 1 year, your fee's going to be higher than if you break it at 4 years.
4 years. Yeah.
Potentially, right? The other thing that's going to impact it, at the time of us breaking it, how much do we still owe on the loan? If you owe $1 million compared to owing 100 grand, your fee's obviously going to be a lot higher than $1 million debt.
Yeah.
And the third thing that impacts it is what the rates at the time are doing, the external rates. Why would anybody want to break out of a fixed loan?
Yeah.
Unless they financially have to because they're selling the property, they've got no option. The other reason people would want to break out of it is if the variable or the current fixed rates are much better than what they fixed it on.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So if you fixed it 7% and the rates have then ever since then started dropping and they're at 3%, you're thinking, well, why am I paying a higher rate? You breaking out of that to drop down to a much favourable rate for yourself, it's going to be a huge fee.
It's going to be, exactly.
It's going to be a huge fee, right? If it's the other way, you fixed it at 2% and the rates have gone up to 7%, you're never going to break out of it. You're
Happy days.
Exactly. So
which is always the intention with these things. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
So that's how the fixed ones work. So the easiest way to sum it up for you, if you go down this track, whichever term you select, be prepared to sit in that term
Absolutely.
for that whole duration of that time.
Yes.
What happens if let's assume we go with a 2 year because that's the only one.
Because that's the
that's
nicest
pretty
one. That's
After 2 years, what happens is you automatically swap to the variable at that time. A couple of months prior to that date, you will get notifications from us to say, hey, it's due, it's coming up, what do you want to do? 2 options you'll have. Do nothing, goes to the variable at that time. Or the other option is refix it again at whatever rates are offered at that time in 2 years' time. Right?
So you can refix. Okay, good.
You can have your loan fixed 2 years and 3 years and 5 years. You can keep fixing it until the loan's paid off, as long as you're happy, obviously, with the rate that's offered.
That makes sense.
Excellent.
There are no fees merging the loan.
Great.
There are no fees you picking a fixed
Fixed one.
rate.
Excellent.
In 2 years' time, if you pick a 2-year term today,
Mhm.
in 2 years' time, when you go to refix again, if that's the decision you've decided to do, there's no fee to do that.
Great.
You can actually fix your own loan through your own NAB app. You don't even need to
Great.
come to the
Good.
to the bank.
To do it.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
I
right.
just haven't had success.
Because you're so
with it, that's all.
computer savvy.
But
No,
I
no,
mean,
no,
I'm
you could
just-
do that.
I'm just saying, because
yeah,
you can,
exactly.
you've got the option to do it on the
Yeah,
app for free.
exactly.
We're not going to charge you a fee because you've come in here to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
the
yeah,
exact
yeah,
same thing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's how the fixed
Gotcha.
stuff works.
Beautiful.
The other side of fixed though
Mhm.
is, now this probably doesn't apply, but in case it did, with fixed you're limited to how much extra above your minimum repayments you can repay.
Oh, you can't keep paying. You can't pay more.
I can't just pay a
You
great
can
big
pay up to
two.
Okay.
Yes.
20,000 above your minimum.
Oh, okay.
Per
it's
year?
So it's 20 extra, not per year, but per the term
For the
that you've
term.
selected.
For the term.
So if you've selected
Yeah.
2 years, basically you can pay up to 20
I
grand
can pay
extra
up to 20
over
grand
that
more.
2-year term.
That's okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good because I probably wouldn't be able to do much more than that anyway. I need to build up the
Okay.
nest egg a bit.
I mean,
So-
yeah,
so that'd work-
it's still a
that'd work
sizable
well.
amount, especially
Yes,
if you only
exactly.
pick a 2-year term. 2
Yes,
years
exactly.
goes pretty
yeah,
quick, right?
Exactly.
And the next
Next
question
10
is
grand.
based
So-
on Helen's
great.
age and the value in her property. What's the loan term? I mean, as in the like, if
The
you
term?
if we based it on 3 years fixed.
I do
So
the
the
two.
term itself,
I do the two. Yeah.
we don't change. In this whole, everything we're doing here, we're not changing the term that was set up when you initially got the loan. So I'll
Right.
give you those
Those
Excellent.
dates.
dates.
Do you have an extra
Perfect.
piece of jotting paper? I've just used all of mine. What's
I'm
my?
Scribbler as well, I
Oh, look,
take
We've
notes.
got dog
I've
information.
got lines.
Thank you. She loves doing information too, and she writes
Yeah.
it like this.
So your
That's great.
0453
Very
loan,
Yep.
so the one that's the main one
The
that's
main
going to
one.
remain,
Yep.
expires on the 14th of the 3rd, 2038.
Great.
So you took this loan out in 14th of the
14th.
3rd, 2013, which gave you a 30-year, what did you end up taking? A 25-year term, right?
Yeah.
So that initial 25-year
Yeah.
term that you took out in 2013, that doesn't change. Us fixing it, us merging it, doesn't, do you know what I mean? That's
understand.
the
Yeah.
term on it. So now the other one, let's have a look at the other one. The 1134, what's the term on that?
I think that did.
Okay, so that one there is expires on the 11th of the 1st, 2042. Now, two things are going to happen here. If you decide to merge these,
Mm.
because we're only going to be left with one loan at the
Mm.
end of it, we can't have two different end dates applying when there's only going to be one loan. So the lower of the two will
Yes.
prevail.
Perfect. Yep, that's what I was planning.
So
yes.
2038,
Perfect.
Feb, March, is
Yep.
going to be your new end date for your
Perfect.
entire debt.
Excellent. Perfect.
Yeah, got it.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
Perfect.
yep. That's perfect. That's what I was planning.
Now you go in
Mm.
and fix, let's assume we merge all this and then you decide to fix
Fix
for
it at
2 years.
1.99 for 2 years. Yep.
So your end term is still 2038.
Yep.
But it just means for the next 2 years out of that remaining term, you're fixed.
Mm.
Then whether you go back to variable or whether you then
Or whatever
refix
I
for another
decide to
3
do,
years,
yep.
that part's
Yep.
up to you.
Yep.
The end term doesn't
It
change.
still doesn't change.
Yeah. By all means, you can pay this out a lot sooner than 2038,
Yeah.
and I hope that's the plan.
Yeah.
Right? And I hope that's what we end up doing.
That is the plan.
But just take into consideration that during
Yeah.
those periods between now and then, or whenever you end up paying this off, any fixed periods, your 20k extra applies.
Yeah.
Per fixed period.
Once
That's
it's
excellent.
variable,
Yep.
mate, take all the money you want and throw it on there. There's no
Yep.
additional cost for
Yep.
you to do that.
Beautiful.
Once it's fixed, you can't do.
Great.
Yep.
And it still has a redraw facility attached to it, doesn't it? So if I need to.
So redraw only applies to variable loans.
Okay, cool.
If you
so in
fix-
those times, then I can. Okay, cool.
But you've got to have redraw available, right?
Yeah.
Redraw basically means
'Cause I
any
have
money that
redraw.
you're in front,
Yeah,
that's what you can
Because-
redraw.
because I
At
have
the moment,
because it does have a redraw facility on it.
it does
I
have a
know, 'cause-
redraw facility,
yeah.
but at the moment you don't have anything to
No, it
redraw.
drained.
Do you know what? If you need
I took
another
it to-
10,
I
there's
took
better
it
ways
to
of doing it than
I
having a
took-
variable
I
rate.
took it to India.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's
Yeah.
yep, that's clear.
just remember, redraw's there if you have any available funds to
Yes,
redraw.
exactly.
The minute we fixed a loan,
Mm.
the
It
redraw
doesn't
facility
apply.
disappears.
Yeah.
But it only disappears while it's fixed.
Mm.
If during those 2 years, let's assume you pay an extra 15k off,
Yeah.
which you can because it's within your limit of the extra, after the 2 years fixed, you then decide to go, well, now I want to stay on variable, all of a sudden that extra that you've repaid becomes redraw.
Yeah.
It becomes available.
Yeah.
So you can take it out if
Okay,
you
so
want.
just a quick question,
So,
based on what you've just done, what would the monthly repayments be based on what you've just done, the 3 year?
1.99.
Yes.
So monthly would be,
Yes, my monthly.
and could
Although
you
I pay
also tell us
weekly.
what the monthly would be? I know, again, this is hypothetical.
Sure.
So monthly if fixed and monthly if variable. We would like both.
Okay,
But
let
I've
me-
always-
let me have a look at the rate.
I've been
for variable
paying.
first.
I've been paying this one weekly though.
Oh, does weekly make a
We
difference?
still calculate it monthly.
It's still monthly, but it just chisels it
You
down.
So
a
how
bit.
easy
how
for you.
you pay
Yeah.
it off, yeah.
Yeah, it just chisels it down that bit
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
by the time the interest is
So it's
calculated.
calculated monthly?
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Because I have a massive suggestion for you.
Variable, as at today,
Mm-hmm.
you'd be looking at 3.07.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right, so let's do an calculation on repayments. Okay, what do we say? We're roughly going to have about 210. I'm just going to round up.
Mm.
Okay, so then for March 2038, couple of it's away. So in March next year, which is, let's assume not that far away, you're going to have about 16 years left on that term, right?
Okay.
So if I just use 16 years flat,
Yep.
and I take a variable 3.07 rate, that's an offer today. You're going to have a monthly repayment of 1423.
Great.
That's the variable?
1423
Yep.
per month.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Checking.
Variable.
At 3.07%.
Now,
Yep.
I'm taking 3.07, 210, so I'm
Yeah.
probably rounding it up by a
Yes,
thousand
yes,
or
yes.
so.
Yep.
Sorry
to interrupt. All right.
All right.
And I'm only doing it over a 16-year term where
Yeah.
it's actually about 16 and 7 months or whatever
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
between now and...
Yep. Yep. No, that's good.
And that's variable.
I'll be able to
And
That's very
That
good.
fixed,
Do the
just to check.
fixed.
So it'll
One
be,
second.
it'll be a lesser interest
That'll
rate.
be
So,
fair.
because I'll.
So we're basing the fixed on what
Oh
was
no, that's
That's
based on the
correct.
variable.
Variable.
Fixed will do on 199.
Yeah.
199. Thank you.
So I'm going to keep the same 210 amount,
Yep.
same term of 16 years.
No, that's great.
So we're going to do
So I've been paying $3.15 a week anyway. So it's only just over that. It's only $3.50 a week. So it's only so that's
So
That
pay
was so
everything
easy.
fortnightly or weekly if you can,
It's
just
gonna
not
be,
monthly.
no, it's going to be so much easier, Walker. I can't tell you how. I'm going to be able to have a life.
Yeah, my missus was trying to force me to sell the investment property, but I talked myself out of it.
Honestly.
We've got a ton of debt, so she was thinking if we can get rid of that, we'd end up roughly about a $1.5 million house that we're in now with only like a 200 grand loan.
Wouldn't that be
So how good would that be? We're in the mid-30s, like, no, I got out of that.
I've got a bigger picture. Yeah.
Oh, she wants me to sell a duplex in Miami. I was like, no way.
Oh no, there's going to be more zeros on that in another couple of years.
And it pays for itself. I'm like,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
don't need
no.
to.
No, if
Tenant-
it's paying
tenant's
for,
brilliant.
yeah. Oh gosh, if
So
it's paying for itself and you've
Because
got
this
good
doesn't
people,
happen
gosh.
for doesn't have to happen until after the 30th, then you've got the time to sit and
exactly,
decide.
exactly. And also get other documents off and go over everything
So
as well.
1311, 1311 per month
Yep.
131
during the fixed
doing
year.
3 years.
2 years at 199.
Now, if you go into
Excellent.
variable,
That's lovely ballpark,
for
thank
example, just again interest. So with variable, can you then go on to fixed at any time?
Definitely, great question. So if we decide to merge these and we leave it on variable, whatever variable rate we've
what
got,
it is.
changing from variable to fixed, you just sign one form. Again, no fee, very, very easy fix.
Okay, so can go, and there's no, and at any time,
At any time.
at any, even within
At any
2
time.
months.
2 days,
So
2
if
months.
if you suddenly got $150,000 dumped into that account, then you could fix it. Thank you.
Yeah, so you can fix at any point in time. It's just variable to fixed, easy. Fixed to variable, that's the one where the fee potentially you'll
Yeah,
get charged
yes,
the
Understand.
fee.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, not got that.
So that's how
That's all
that
good.
part of it works.
Yep.
So just before we move on anywhere, are we definitely then looking to merge the two loans post-settlement?
Definitely.
That's happening regardless of whether
Yep.
we go fixed or variable?
Yep, just
Okay.
the one product, the one thing, and that's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
But
We'll just have to
for
think
3
about the
years.
better.
Gosh, NAB might even win.
But let's to think about the better. Yeah, absolutely. Such a difference. My life will be so easy. I can't even begin to tell you. I haven't checked my balance today, but to have to put $20
Does that
$20
mean-
worth of petrol on the credit card on Sunday because there's no money again. It's like
Yeah,
fuck's
again,
sake. Drives me insane.
so that means that you would close down both associated savings accounts as well and just have this as an operational account, or you'd have
No,
the savings
I'll
account
keep
linked?
keep the
Just
spending
one
account.
savings,
Yeah.
or savings
Just
slash
keep
check.
the savings account, get rid of the check account.
And then the
close
money gets
check account.
transferred from
Yep, the check account straight onto the home.
on the, whatever the due date is, each month, which you fix
Yeah.
to the 28th or
Yeah.
whatever date suits you.
Yes.
Okay. Did you catch all of
Well, it's, hopefully it can be, yes, if it can be, because it will be settled on the Friday or
Monday.
the Monday.
that? The 30th?
Oh, that's fine, because I'll be,
How much
pays
time
everything will be
does Helen
clean on
have
Friday.
after that to then
That's
merge
right.
the two?
So I can get the form done now for you
Yeah.
to sign
Yeah.
in preparation for Monday, so then I don't have to get you to come back in.
Yeah.
Perfect,
I can't
perfect.
lodge that
Perfect.
form
Until it's done.
until day after settlement, because
Yep.
you've got to think settlement's potentially going to happen early to mid-afternoon on a Monday, which basically means the paperwork and all the processing stuff's not going to happen until overnight. So I'll see it post-settlement Tuesday. Tuesday, I can lodge this form to merge the two remaining loans into one.
That's fine. That's Tuesday,
Yes.
which would be the
Trying to
1st of
work out.
September or the 31st of August?
Tuesday will be the 31st. Now, I would be very comfortable to say that when I lodge the request to merge the loans, that's potentially going to take about 5 to 7 working days.
That's
Okay.
fine.
So that process, unfortunately, isn't overnight
That's okay.
because it's not something I can do. I've got
Yeah.
to send it off
Send
to
it
a back
off.
office team,
Yeah.
right?
And then after the loans have merged, can Helen request that let's say, for example, fixed payment comes out on a specific date
The
each
date.
month, not a changeable date?
Certainly can.
Great.
Certainly
Because
can.
that was the trouble. That was the trouble I had with
The
this.
dates would
Yes.
change every month. Okay.
So, because
Well,
you're going to have to go
fixed,
with
It
one
would be
loan,
on a
Date.
Tuesday. It settled on a Tuesday, so it would only ever come out.
for deductions.
Everything was balanced then for the Tuesday.
once
It
I
changed,
merge the two loans, I'm going to
Mm.
tell you when
Mm.
your monthly
is due.
repayment
Mm.
Okay.
is due. Now that could be, that
Beautiful.
might fall on any one of the 30, 31 days in the month. I'll tell you what that date's going to be.
Cool.
If
And
you
I can
then
plan
want to
accordingly.
set up a
Yes.
weekly payment on a specific day in the week, we can easily do that based on where our
Cool.
starting point position is.
So that
Now,
was always
back to
the
your
trouble I
point
had.
as well.
Mm.
With this form that I'm going to fill in now to merge the two loans,
Yep.
we can, on that form, notify if we want to fix the loan, or we don't have to, and we can just merge the loans with this form first, then refix it later if you don't want to fix straight away, if you haven't made that decision yet.
By the 31st of August.
By the 30, well, I've got to put it on the form if we're going to do the form
Just have
today.
to, check the interest rates, but 1.99 fixed for 2 years, I think is pretty reasonable. Two can only be fixed
2
for 2.
years is 199, 3 years
It's
is
2.6.
2.08.
Yeah.
2 years.
Now, to tell you difference between now 199 looks pretty, than 2.08. The actual difference is bugger all.
Is nothing. Yeah.
Right? I can actually work out the exact interest difference between those two, and you'll notice that it's bugger all.
And especially because it's a lower. It's a
You
lower.
want bugger all money,
it's-
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So let's do 210k. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, 2.08 minus 1.99, 0.09, right? So we've got
It's going to be only.
109 on, let's say
Yeah.
210. I'll keep using 210 grand. 0.09% is $189 per year.
Yeah, makes no difference.
So it
Which
makes no
case,
difference.
that's no
But
difference.
why I say that is because this gives you an additional 12 months.
Yes.
Now, where are the rates going over the next 3 years? I don't know.
Who
I'm not
knows?
going to tell you they're going to go up. I'm not going to tell you they go down because I don't know that.
It's a little
no
bit
one knows.
dicey at this time, hey?
But you can basically get yourself an additional 12 months at a pretty decent rate,
At a
even though it's
pretty
not as pretty as
decent rate.
199.
Yeah.
But that's the cost.
Yeah,
of it.
exactly.
That's
it's
the
no
cost of
different.
doing a pretty low rate for an additional 12 months.
It's probably better to do that then. For the difference that it makes.
And why I go down that path is because,
Yes.
again, you're not looking to sell this house in the next
Yes,
2 years.
exactly.
So you're still going to be there in 3 years.
Exactly.
Now, if the rates, you lock in at 199 and the rates drop to 0.5, well, it is what it is. Rates go up to 5%, you're going to be thinking, well, I made a good decision, right?
If
You
something,
can't,
if something
judge.
happens like I God forbid, but if something happens like I pass away in the next couple of years,
hope not.
yeah, I know,
But yeah,
because
it's-
it would then be passed on to my nieces and nephews, and they would probably sell it or buy each other out or whatever.
yeah,
Then
the estate
Wait.
takes over.
the estate takes
The
over.
estate takes
so
over.
is there-
If this property with this loan gets inherited by the estate,
Mhm.
the estate becomes you, basically.
Right,
Nothing changes.
great.
Let's
okay.
assume we're
Cool.
fixed for 3 years. I don't even want to say it, but
I
you
know, I know.
something happens
You
in the
just
next
have
12
to
months.
think. You just have to think of these things, you know.
If and when the estate takes over, there's still 2 years left on the
Yeah.
fixed term. Same rules and regulations apply as if you were still in
Right.
charge of that loan and
Okay.
there's still 2 years to go.
Excellent.
Nothing changes. If
Excellent.
the kids
Okay, cool.
decide to go, well,
To
we
sell
don't
it,
want
they
the
will have
property,
to pay
we're
the
going to
fees.
sell it, they'll just pay the fee
They just
when
pay
they
the fees and
when
that's
they
it.
pay it out.
All
It's
right, cool.
nothing
Alrighty,
changes. The
excellent.
owning entity changes.
Mm.
The terms and conditions don't really change.
Great.
Right, that's how
Excellent.
that-
Thank you.
Okay. Which depends on how long into the term. It is.
And one just, I just have to think of
So
these
your
things.
thoughts on 2
my
or
God.
2 cents,
3
think like that.
years?
Oh well, I'm on my own. You just have to think. You just have to be sensible, and you don't
So
want to leave
you're-
headaches for other people. Hey,
You're happy to go fixed?
Yes, I think so.
I think so.
For,
It doesn't have a redraw facility, but
Yeah,
that's okay
that's
because
alright.
you're still better off drawing down your super.
exactly.
If you need access to $10,000, you've still got this financial year to draw down on.
Which I wouldn't do. I don't want to
I know.
diminish my super anymore.
I know.
I want to roll that all back over to Q Super and
But
let
also
them do
all
what
of
they
your-
need to do.
Your costs are going to go down.
Oh,
so
it's going to
much.
make such a huge difference.
It's just the 2 or the 3 year
Huge difference.
as
Yeah,
as
the
a
other-
con- as a
Because we're just discussing all this right now,
Mm.
you don't have to make a decision now.
No, I know.
Do you know what I mean? I
realise
can't
that.
lodge this till.
Yes.
So you
Tuesday.
could put
Until
you could
Tuesday,
put a term in,
exactly.
and then Kelly can advise prior to the
Well, I'll
first
show you.
of
I'll show you
September.
what the form looks like. I'm not even going to tick that
No,
we're
no,
going
no,
to
no.
fix.
We'll just leave it for.
The only
it's
thing
alright.
is, I will, in order for me to lodge this form, I need you to sign the form.
Yes.
If you then want me to make an amendment on that form,
Hmm.
just remember you've already signed it. I will just need an email confirmation from you to say, hey, we've thought about it over the weekend. Can we now
Tick
add
this
to that
box.
form just to tick that we're going to fix for 2 or 3 years at this rate?
Okay.
Can I just add that to a form that you've already executed for? If
Okay.
you're happy with that,
Just for the
That sounds
record,
great.
Helly's
Right,
signing a
thank you.
form with unticked boxes. Sorry, I shouldn't say that.
Oh dear. Yeah. No.
Okay.
That's
because the things that I'm
great. It's
ticking
just
on
easier.
this,
Yes.
and I'll take you through the whole form, is the priority of this form is to merge these 2 loans
Yes.
into one. Yeah.
That's exactly right. It'd be so much easier.
Okay. So I'm just going to pause this for